Hello, and thanks for watching this Cloud9 ERP Solutions video and subscribing to our YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to give you tips and tricks to help focus on the most important customers and invoices that are coming due. So let's get started. So if you go into dashboards, we do have an accounts receivable clerk. And depending upon your system, your dashboard may be configured differently. But you can see there's a ton of different widgets here that tell us all sorts of things like payments to apply, documents on hold. This is useful in case I have invoices that I haven't quite completed yet. Things that need to be released. So this is an invoice that's not on hold, but it's balanced. It's not also released as well. These are invoices to email. The first thing we're going to do is create a widget that shows all the invoices that are coming due within the next 7 days. So if we go over to receivables and we open up invoices, here we could see a list of all the invoices that are in our system. Now what we want to do is we want to filter this so this is just the invoices that are coming due within 7 days, meaning a due date that's either today or within 7 days. Anything beyond 7 days forward, we're going to exclude. But we also need an invoice that's open. Can't use closed invoices and certainly not hold or balanced invoices because those aren't ready to go yet. So to get started with this, let's create a filter. So we'll go over here to status and we'll uncheck select all and we'll take open invoices. We only want open invoices. Again, on hold and balance, they're not done yet. So even if they're going to be done soon and they're going to be due today, we still don't want to include them because they could be changed. Before I continue, only 15% of you are subscribed. Hit that subscribe button now to get notified about new videos and events. So we'll click apply on that. Now for the due date, if we scroll over to the right, you'll see that our invoice inquiry does not include the due date. We click on our gear icon here, we scroll down, we can enable it here. In our other videos, we talk about the generic inquiry and how you can modify this easily to add columns that aren't necessarily included in this inquiry screen. So now if we scroll over to the right, we can see our due date column. We'll click on it. And what we want is our date, our due date, to be less than or equal to if we were to take today's date and add 7 days to it. So if we click on the less than or equal to, when we click on the calendar, you'll notice Acumatica brings up the calendar in a pop-up, but we don't want that. We want a dynamic date to be calculated. So if we say today, and then we come down and edit it, and we say +7, this will take today's date, which happens to be the 7th of November, and it'll add 7 days. So it's going to say that we want the due date to be less than or equal to the 14th of November. Meaning, again, our due date is less than, it's not after the 14th of November. It's not after 7 days. So we'll click apply on that. And what you see here is now everything. And again, depending upon your accounts receivable, this may be great. We happen to, because this is demo data, have almost everything open in our system. Not a lot of payments in there. There's 5 pages, in fact. But the logic will still work well for your environment. And certainly you can change the dates. Now, if we wanted to, we can go into our filters, open the advanced filter, and we can add another filter to say, and I also want something that's beyond today's date. So let's say, for example, we did that, then we would only see future stuff. And maybe maybe this is an exercise in just calling customers in advance of their invoices coming due. Maybe they're big invoices and we just like to let customers know. Later, what we can do is we can take this and turn it into a business event if we wanted to, and email customers that, hey, in 7 days, Your invoice is coming due. But let's cancel this. And let's save our filter. So right now we don't have a save filter. We simply have the all records option. So if we save our filter and we give it a name, invoice is due within 7 days. And we'll put the word all in there. And we'll share it. We need to share it. That'll allow not only other people to be able to see this filter, but it'll also allow us to put it on a dashboard. So now the way this works in the new user interface is if I click on this, I can see all of my filters. So now if we go back to our AR Clerk and we click on Design, we'll add a new widget and we'll make it a KPI. First thing we need to do is include our inquiry screen. So that's Invoices and Memos. We'll just search for Invoices. And we don't want the actual screen. We want a primary list. So that's this here. And if we click on Shared Filter to apply, you can see our new filter here. We can decide if we want to refresh the data every so often. Probably not necessary. We can use on-page reload. We want to aggregate a field. So this is a unique field that we want to aggregate. So that could be the reference number. And we're going to count all. We're not looking to average the invoice number or sum it. That wouldn't make sense in this case. And then we could decide our normal level type. So for example, our normal level is going to be a fixed value. And maybe that's 10 invoices or 15 invoices or something like that. However, what you could do is you could make it a percentage of the total number of invoices that you have out there, or maybe in that 7-day range or within that 7-day due rate range. You want to say a certain percentage of the closed versus open are outstanding, because maybe sometimes you get prepaid invoices. But we just want a fixed value. And what we'll do is we'll make it maybe 75 total. But then our alarm value is going to be 125. And then based on that, if it's less than 75, then you'll get a normal level. If it's in between 75 and 125, you'll get a warning. And if it's over 125, it'll be pink. And you can change the colors if you want. We'll make it a scorecard, but we could use a meter, like a gauge, an old style gauge. We'll give it a caption. And you can see here when we click finish, we scroll down, we could turn off our design. We now have that counter here. So this is a counter we can watch. We could see the total number of invoices that we have due in 7 days. Again, this is our demo data, so everything is outstanding. We could have put a filter saying from today's date greater than, or today plus 7 less than. This way we get a 7-day window into the future of what we can expect. So we could have done that. But again, you can drill into this. So if I click on this, you can see all of the invoices, the 94 records that makes up. And you could take a look and see what the amounts are. Now, the other thing we could do here is we can create another widget. We click on Design. We'll add a new widget. It'll be another KPI. We'll use the same inquiry. We'll use our same exact shared filter. And we'll aggregate, though, this time, the amount. But we're not going to count it. We're going to sum it. So now this will give us a total amount of what we can expect in that 7-day future due date. We'll give it another caption, put a $sign there. You can also, with these dashboards, you can give it an icon. So if you wanted to, you can say $sign here. And if we click finish and we scroll down, we turn off the design button. Now you can see the money that's due in 7 days. So as an AR clerk, this is useful information. I like to see this. I like to see what I'm expecting. what I can start maybe making future phone calls. Typically your due date is what it is, right? So I'm expecting this from customers. Maybe I want to create another filter that says, only the invoices with this due date that have a large amount, maybe, or for certain customers. So certain customers that maybe have a, credit issue, or certain customers, hey, if the invoice is over a certain amount, I want to just give them a heads up, letting them know that your invoice is coming due, because I'm expecting that into my cash flow, and that's my job. Now, the last thing you can do is ask someone in your company to help you create a business event. You're watching this video and you're an AR clerk. Talk to your admin at your company. You can reach out to Cloud9 ERP Solutions also, and we can help you. But create a business event of what's coming due. So here we already have some built-in ones, at least on our demo site. Notify an invoice that's coming due in 15 days. Now, I will tell you that while the logic in this particular built-in notification may be different than what we talked about, because it's using a different screen name, the logic to our invoices and memos, with the filter that we created, we can do the same thing. We can use this inquiry screen. We can use this current filter. So if you go back to your business event, and instead of triggering by schedule, which you could do, we change to record change. So this means trigger immediately. And we switch over to our inquiry screen that we were using, same one. You can then use the very same filter that we used for the dashboard, that we created and we used for the dashboard widget. And then you could say, simply enough, triggers condition, you could say when a new record's created, because this particular shared filter already has everything we need in terms of the conditions. So we're just looking for new records inserted into this filter, and we're done. And then from this, you can add any different subscriber that you want. You could send out an email. You can give yourself a text message. Hey, this invoice is coming due. You can do a pop-up notification on the Acumatica mobile app. You could fire off, if you're using Microsoft Teams and you have it integrated, you could fire off Microsoft Teams notification to maybe a Teams chat that your AR team uses. You can even do a follow-up task reminder on an invoice. You can build all of your tasks, all of your reminders that you would go through and follow up and make calls out to customers. And while this example was invoices due within 7 days, you can easily, using the same logic we talked about, you can easily create a filter that says, okay, these are now invoices past due. It's been 5 days, it's been 7 days, and so on. Using the AR aging report is fine. You could use that as a call list. But essentially, as business evolves and we have invoices every single day, instead of looking at and combing through reports, business events and our different dashboard widgets can be more beneficial to you. So thanks so much for watching this video on AR Clerk and being a little bit more efficient with your invoices that are outstanding. And if you have any questions about this or anything else Acumatica, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks again, and have a great day.